Moving now to Ryan Fitzpatrick, where things are interesting here. So John Clayton had said that it looks like Ryan Fitzpatrick was going to retire. That the Broncos, we'll get to here in a second, made some contact, but the Fitz is going to retire. Then today, Ian Rappaport comes out and says, nope, he's going to play this year. He's planning on it, and there will be a market for his interest. So two different reports, and frankly, I'm a lot more inclined to go with Rappaport because the Clayton one doesn't make sense to me. Fitzpatrick can still be a strong option as a veteran stopgap quarterback who can help mentor somebody younger, which is why I think he makes perfect sense for a team like the Denver Broncos, unless he wants to try and start somewhere with maybe a Washington Patriots, for example. Here was Clayton's quote. Fitzpatrick looks like he's going to retire. The Broncos did make some contact with him, which technically you cannot do, but it's tampering, so it's fine. He's been with 8 teams, played a long time. Looks like he's going to be out of the mix. So the Denver part, I am inclined to believe from Clayton. I don't think he's going to retire, though. Look, Fitzpatrick is not a franchise quarterback anymore. We know that. We know that he is no longer going to be the guy that's going to carry you to the Super Bowl or whatever, or be anything other than a stopgap for the time being. But you might be able to have enough success to where if your coaching staff's in some trouble, he might be just good enough to buy you time to go find your future guy. Look, I think in terms of the top free agent quarterbacks, it's clearly Dak Prescott. And then I guess it's Fitz. Because the other options are Jameis Winston, who's kind of much of a gunslinger as Fitzpatrick is. Andy Dalton, who's like fine, but he's just a backup type. Mitchell Trubisky is not that good. Cam Newton was once an MVP, but he looked kind of washed this year for the Patriots. Tyrod Taylor, Jacoby Brissett, 2 solid backups, but they're more in the Dalton range than anything. And then C.J. Beathard and Colt McCoy. Those guys aren't good football players. Not someone you're like, oh, yeah, now we're set at starter. Of the guys who could start, Fitzpatrick is intriguing. Now, I do think he wants to find a role where he can start. I don't think he wants to go full-fledged Josh McCown and just mentor a young guy and move on and go be a coach at some point. I think he still wants to play. So with that in mind, make your prediction for me. Where do you think that Ryan Fitzpatrick will sign in 2021? Is it back with the Dolphins? Is it a team like the Denver Broncos? Is it somebody else altogether? Make your predictions for me in the comments section where you think Ryan Fitzpatrick will sign. Miami Dolphins rumors coming up now about potentially adding a new RB1. This makes a lot of sense for a team that, let's be honest, they are in the market for a new starting back. And I get it. Look, you got enough-ish play from Myles Gaskin and Salvon Ahmed as well. But if you're Miami, this is what ESPN reported today, they're going to look at both the draft and free agency to find a better lead back. And you can still keep Gaskin, etc., on the roster as a backup rotation piece. But if you're looking for a more impactful player, I think you can find that. The guys on this depth chart, these aren't special players. They're NFL players, make no mistake about it. They are bit role players, but they're not studs by any means. So ESPN, with some suggestions here, listed 5 different players, 3 free agents, and 2 draft options. The big money name there is Aaron Jones, with the caveat of if he hits the open market, he could be franchise tagged by the Green Bay Packers. He also mentioned, or Cameron Wolf did of ESPN, Le'Veon Bell and Leonard Fournette as 2 options if they're paired with another young back, such as Najee Harris or Javonte Williams. We'll discuss both these guys here, or all 5 guys, excuse me. Beginning with the potential draft picks. Najee Harris, Javonte Williams. Najee Harris, of course, the big name, the Alabama product. Tua would love to bring his teammate on the organization. Not a huge surprise there. And he took a significant step forward this past season in terms of overall play, explosive plays, and pass catching. Those latter 2 things, critically important if you want to stick around as a long-term NFL back. I don't think he falls to the Dolphins in round 2, but pick 18 could be an option. Meanwhile, Williams out of North Carolina, part of a dynamic tandem at UNC with Michael Carter, his numbers are impressive. Yeah, that UNC ground game was just, it was something stupid. They were so good. Ask Miami how that ground game fared. He had a couple drops this year, but showed enough in a pass-catching perspective that he's so good as a runner, the pass-catching is enough to make him worthwhile. If you don't go Najee Harris or even Travis Etienne, I like Javonte Williams in round 2 if you are the Miami Dolphins. All right, the experienced runners here. One of these names is unlike the other. Aaron Jones, very clearly a different caliber of player than the rest of those guys. And if you can get him, it's going to be expensive. I think you're talking at minimum $8 million per year, probably going to approach more of 12, 13 or something along those lines. Le'Veon Bell, meanwhile, did have interest from the Dolphins when he was cut, wanted to go in a title with the Chiefs, and of course did not. Instead, Lombardi Lenny got that title with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't love him, but if you get playoff Lenny / Lombardi Lenny, a little bit more intriguing. Adding a Fournette, I'd say more so than a Bell, who I don't think has that much left in the tank at this point, wouldn't prevent you from still drafting somebody early in the NFL draft. So if you're Miami, I will be stunned if this team at some capacity does not add a back either expensively in free agency or at least early in the NFL draft. They got to do at least one of those things. Maybe they take the approach of, let's sign somebody in free agency who will hopefully be better than Jordan Howard was, and still keep an eye out in the NFL draft for an option. So how should Miami fill this running back need? Type D for draft, or you can type in F for free agency. Manscaped.com/chat. When you head over there, you will save 20% off and get free shipping. They are the sponsor of today's video. You can get the Lawnmower 3.0. It's the #1 men's grooming tool out there. Don't just ask me, ask my wife, ask producer Sam's girl. She told me how much she appreciates it when I use it. Manscaped.com/chat. 20% off and free shipping. Producer Sam not happy with me, but sorry I had to find out this way, buddy. What this allows, it allows you to use it in the shower. It doesn't cut or pull your hair. It's a very smooth process down there, but it does help you get a little tug or pull later on if you catch my not-so-subtle drift. If you get the perfect package, by the way, you can get the most comfortable boxers known to mankind. I love them. They're worth the price of admission alone. A handy-dandy traveling carrying case as well. All their great products, not limited to just this stuff, by the way, folks, are available at manscaped.com/chat. When you use that link, it'll be in the comments, it'll be in the description as well. You will get 20% off and you'll get free shipping on everything Manscaped related.